What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on Teamfight Tactics, which now makes Riot Games. Now, I have played around over 100 games of this so far, and I absolutely love it, and I want to give you my current tier list, and I'm going to bring you as much updates on this as possible, and everything that I can to help you guys win as many games of Teamfight Tactics as you can, with Ranked coming out soon. So, kicking off with tier S. So these are my absolute god tier champs, the ones that if you can include in one of your comps, then you are set to win that game. So first of all, we've got Draven, whose damage is just not even compared to by any of the other ADCs. As soon as he gets his axes, he has just got ridiculous damage, and he fits into that Blade Master and Imperial comps, which are both really strong. Next we've got Gnar. Now Gnar is currently just ridiculous because he fits into Yordle and he fits into Wild, so he allows your Wild comps to get a lot stronger once you get him, and his ultimate can completely change a fight. And one thing that I love when I've been using Gnar is if you use him against a Kindred, you can push everyone outside of that Kindred ultimate and it just wins you the fight over. We've next got Aurelion Sol. Now Aurelion Sol, I'm sure a lot of you, if you've been playing Teamfight Tactics, you've seen it, and his ult will just shred through the team. So he fires his ult just straight across the team and it just absolutely destroys, and if you can build him into Sorcerer comp or even with the Dragon comp as well, then he can be super powerful. And also in the S tier we've got Garen. Now I know Garen's a very contested pick because he is a 1 cost, but at the same time Garen's spin to win can just damage so many people at once, and he's so tanky as well. He's just got so many defensive stats, and also I've been able to 1v6, 1v7 against assassin comps with Garen, just because his spin to win will damage everybody at once. So those are the absolute god tier champs right now. Now next I want to move on to A tier. Now A tier has a few more where they're a bit more ridiculous, but they're just not as strong as the S tier. So we're kicking off with Pyke. Now Pyke's comps, he fits into the Assassin comp, which is really strong, but I also believe that the Pirate comp that he fits into is currently still quite weak. Now Pirates are really good for early game, but their late game really falls off hard. But there is some big things coming out for Pirate comp that you'll see in a future video coming soon. So Pyke's ultimate is what brings him to A tier, because you get that ultimate across 6-7 champs at once and it completely changes the fight over. We also have Lucian up here, just because Lucian is just the second best ADC I believe. And it's the fact that as soon as an assassin dives on him, if you're using attack speed or maybe Spear of Shojin or something like that, he's got the ability to reposition himself super easily versus an assassin comps and versus any other comp going for him. He's just very mobile as the ADC, and there's no other ADC that is as mobile as him. We also have Warwick here, and also yes, again he is very contested, but he fits into those Brawl and Wild comps, and again like the ultimate can just completely disarm a really carry ADC or really carry Mage. And he's just very tanky and very useful in a lot of good comps. We also have Lissandra up here. So Lissandra is the first one that fits into the Glacial comp, which I'm going to mention a few times, because the Glacial comp, yes, the individuals aren't that strong, but the overall comp is insanely good. But the ultimate makes Lissandra up here, whether it's a self-ult or a single target ultimate, just because you add like a Morellonomicon or something like that onto it, and it adds the burn damage across everyone, and it's really powerful. And she also fits into that elemental comp as well. And also talking about the elemental comp, we have Brand up here. Yeah, so Brand fits into the elemental comp, but he also fits into Demon, which they've just recently buffed. But the main reason we have Brand up here is for that ultimate, where it can just bounce across an entire team and deal insane damage to everyone at once. Any of these ultimates, whether giant AoE or they can just do a lot to a team, that makes the champion so much more important. Now next we've got our B tier, so these are our very good, but not as good as the top, but not so bad that they're just okay. So we're starting off with Zed. Now Zed again fits into the Assassin comp, and he also has the Ninja bonus. Now you'll see that there's a few Ninja bonus people up here, just because the solo Ninja bonus is massive. It's like a 30% increase of damage just for having that person on the field. So if you're running him in an Assassin comp, then he gets that bonus from that. And he has insane damage throughout, and he's also not that hard to get the level 3 version of. We also have Kennen up here, so again he gets the ninja bonus, but he also fits really well into Yordle comps, which are really powerful. and he also has that ridiculous ultimate where basically if you can get it off in a fight, then you're talking about a 6-7 man stun and also a big damage across everyone. And I've been practicing running Morellonomicon on him as well, because you combine the Morellonomicon with that ult and it's just really good. We also have Darius up here in B tier, because Darius fits into the Knight comp, but he also fits into that Imperial comp which we mentioned earlier with Draven. Now Darius's damage and his healing ability from his Q makes him a really good front line, because he takes damage, he gets chunked down, and then he just ults and gets a lot back from it. We also have Cho'Gath up here, which also comes back to our AoE abilities. So Cho'Gath's ult is very powerful in these fights, and I've tried running double Cho'Gath before, where you run 2 level 2s instead of getting the level 3. And I think it's a lot more effective, especially for the later game, just because you're getting double knockups and it just disarms the enemy team for a longer period of time rather than getting that level 3 Cho'Gath, where yes, it's tankier, but you're not getting double ults. Now we also have Akali up here. Now Akali fits into the assassin comp, and she also has that ninja bonus again. The only thing to be careful with these ninja bonuses is if you're running 2 ninjas, you lose the bonus. Now with most comps you still get the bonus if you're running like an odd number, but with the ninja bonus you either need 1 or you need 4. So it's a very hard comp to go for because of that, but if you're able to pull it off, then it is really strong. But I also think Akali is a very good alternative to Zed in these assassin comps if you're unable to get that level 3 Zed, just because a level 2 Akali is probably just as strong if not stronger. Right, we're done with our kind of really high tier picks now. Now I want to move on to our more middle tier and what I think is more kind of the average stuff. So these are going to be a bit quicker on the overviews, but we'll kick off with C tier. So I'd like to kick this off with Vayne. Now Vayne is just very okay. So if you get level 3 Vayne, get a few items on her, then she can be really good, but that relies on you to get level 3 when she is very highly contested early game, so she just works out at okay. Now Ahri fits really well into Sorcerer and Wild comps, but at the same time she is just that piece that you get because she fits in those comps. You don't get Ahri because she's insane on her own, but she just fits into 2 very good comps. Now again, it's the same style of thing with Braum, because if Braum didn't fit into the Glacial comp, which was extremely good, then he wouldn't be this high on the list, just because he doesn't bring that much to the table, with his ability being his E and not his ult or something better. And next you've got Kha'Zix. Now Kha'Zix is a great assassin. I honestly think he might be a bit higher on the lists, but after debating it with someone else, we basically agreed that he's this tier just because of how contested he is early and how weak his level 2 is. So like Zed early on in the list, because he gets the ninja bonus, he also has that high damage as a level 2 anyway. Kha'Zix needs the level 3. Then next we've got Kindred. Now Kindred's ult is great, and she also fits into the Ranger and Phantom bonus. The issue with Kindred is because she's a 4 cost, it's very hard to get the level 2 and then even any further. And also, like I said with Gnar can basically drag everyone outside of Kindred ult, so it basically makes Kindred useless. Next we've got Katarina. Now Katarina fits into the Imperial and Assassin comp, but she's also there mainly just to hold the place. If you can get the ultimate off, it's really good, but it isn't the easiest thing to always get off, it's not a guaranteed. Now even in the Imperial comp you want the buff to go onto Draven, not Katarina. Now next we have Veigar. Now Veigar's a very weird one that took a lot of debating to fit in. Now he fits into Sorcerer and Yordle, which are both very good team comps. But the issue with Veigar is you need to get him as high a level as you can, and at a free cost it isn't the easiest thing to do, because the way Veigar's ult is, it's an insta-kill at any star level below him. So if you get him 3-star, you can instantly kill any 2-star in the game, but it's very hard to get that 3-star. So he is just okay, but if you get the 3-star Veigar, then he goes straight up the tier list, but it's not the easiest 3-star to get. And next we've got Ashe. Now Ashe is a decent ADC, but at a free cost, the same as Veigar. Again, it's very hard to get that like later 2-3-star kind of champion, but she fits very well into those glacial comps, which work extremely well in this current meta. Now next we have Kassadin. Now Kassadin's a great early game. He denies basically getting abilities by draining the mana. But again, level 2 Kassadin is nowhere near as good as the level 3. There's a massive gap between them, so you need that level 3 to do anything. Now Shen, honestly I believe is a very good champion. The issue with Shen is he doesn't fit that well into comps, so you either have to go Blade Master, which is a very hard comp to run, or you have to go ninja, which again a very hard comp to run. So Shen comes down to here, even though his ability is his W, which can be massively game changing to dodge all autos at anybody inside that ring. So Shen just needs to be able to fit into maybe a better comp, just because the current ones are very hard to run whilst the champion is very good still. Now next on the list we've got D tier. Now D tier are these are the champs that are basically not that great in all, or basically a very scenario sort of picks. Now we start off with Blitz. Now Blitz is good to keep the brawler comp going until basically you get the late game Cho'Gath or something like that, but all in all he's very poor, just because of the fact that his grab can be counted against. So your grab will pull in whoever's at the back, so if he pulls in a Darius, then the Darius is in the middle of your team and it's very bad for you. And next we've got Leona. Leona is very good in the noble comp, and I'll be bringing a video on the noble comp soon because it is very powerful and I've figured out how to get it every time. But all in all, Leona doesn't bring that much to the field. The ultimate maybe needs a bigger radius because right now it's basically a single target, but all in all she's not that great. And then we have Anivia. Now Anivia you just basically get just to finish off Glacial comp, because her ult is great, yes, but it's very hard to get the level 2, level 3 Anivia, so she will not be the big carry on your team. She's just there to get that 6 Glacial bonus, which you can get with a Frozen Mallet anyway. Now we have Tristana next on the list. Now Tristana does fit into Yordle comps, but the issue is between her and Vayne is while she fits into Yordle and Vayne goes into Noble, she fits into Gunslinger. Now Gunslinger is a good early game strategy, but it's not very good to win the game. And she is also a very contested pick. If she wasn't as contested, then basically she would be higher on the list because she's still not a bad ADC. And next we have Volibear. Now Volibear again is just to finish off that Glacial comp. He does bring Brawler to the field, and he is a good front line, but he does go down fairly easily, and you don't get that level 3 Volibear very easy because of the fact that him being a free cost. Now next we have Morgana. Now Morgana fits into Demon. I know they've tried to buff Demon recently and it is slightly better, but it's not that great yet. She does fit into Sorcerer, and if she gets a good ult off it can be very good, but again these free costs where you can't get the level 3s just aren't that great at the 2-star level. There is some free cost, 4 cost, which basically as soon as you get 2-star are amazing. So Morgana's just one of those ones that lacks it once you get that 2-star level. Now next we have Evelynn. Now Evelynn is a great assassin, she fits into that comp to finish it off, but all in all she's not that great on her own. She's very squishy, she's very weak, but she just needs probably a buff just to make her that little bit better, because right now she's not too great. Now the last one in D tier is Varus. Now the reason Varus is here, even though he is a decent ADC, is the fact that he has his Q. So every time he Qs, he stops auto attacking. Now if you're wanting an ADC at the backline just to deal constant damage like most people are, Varus does not do that because he stops to fire those Qs. So it just drags his ranking down by a massive chunk. Now if they change the ability to maybe his ult, which would be quite interesting, or maybe his like attack speed increase or something like that, but I think that'd be more interesting than his Q, which stops him auto attacking. Now I understand this video is going on a bit, but at the same time I'm trying to give you an overview on every champion that we're coming across, just so you have an example of why they're where we put them, rather than just thinking, oh I really like that, I don't get why they put it that low, or I don't think that's that great, why do they put it that high. But we are moving on to E and F tiers now, which are not so great, so I'm going to try and explain why we put them down here. So kicking off with E tier, we start with Yasuo. Now Yasuo fits into a Blade Master, where basically it's a case of if you're waiting for the last Blade Master for so long, then the comp is very hard to pull off. And at the same time, he isn't that great because you have to leave him on his own in the middle of nowhere to get the exile bonus, which can involve him going out straight away. Now we also have Aatrox down here. Now Aatrox fits into that Demon again, which just needs a little bit more adding to it. And he also fits into Blade Master again, which I think is just way too late game focused. And unlike Noble, where you get a buff whilst you're building to it, the Blade Master buff whilst you're building to it just isn't nearly as strong as what you get from say Noble or Glacial. Now we also have Rek'Sai down here. Now Rek'Sai basically fits into Brawler and Void. Now he's not a very good Brawler compared to the other Brawlers out there, and you usually don't do a full Brawler team. So Rek'Sai basically gets just put in until you get to the Cho'Gath, until you get to something better late game, and he just doesn't bring as much to the field. Now next we have Misfortune. Now Misfortune's ult is very good and is the only thing that saved her from F tier. The issue with her is you're waiting really long just to basically have her not fit into any comp, because she fits into Gunslinger and Pirate, which are early game comps. So by the time you get to MF, you should usually be out with those kind of comps. Now we also have Karthus down here. Now Karthus fits into a Phantom comp, his ult is very good, but the issue is a lot of these 5 costs are just missing a massive chunk just because you're waiting so long to get them. Now we also have Nidalee down here. Now Nidalee fits into Shapeshifter, which if you can pull off is okay, but the champs in Shapeshifter aren't that great. But at the same time, like, she's an early pick, but she's also very contested. The only saving grace for Nidalee is that she fits into that wild comp. And the last person we have down in E tier is Elise. Now again, Elise fits into Shapeshifter, but the issue with Elise again is that she's just a bit too weak. If you don't get the ult off with Elise, then she brings nothing to the table. The only advantage of Elise is the fact that when you have the Spiderlings, there's extra targets for the enemies to go for. Now finally, I do want to move on to F tier, so I'm not keeping you around all day. Now F tier we kick off with Fiora. Now I know I've said a lot about the Noble comp being really good, but at the same time Fiora is just a sack unit, which is basically the unit that's just there to kind of take up numbers and just to go down, and she's just there to get you that bonus. Now we also have Graves, and I'm also going to include Gangplank in this because they're basically the same, where they're just not that strong, and the comps they fit into are very early game comps, and they don't bring a lot to late game, which you really need to actually win the games and not just to get to the end of the game. Now we also have Mordekaiser down there. Now Mordekaiser is a good early game pick, where basically he's just a 1 cost. He's also got the Phantom bonus, but he's just so much weaker than every other knight. He's so much weaker than every other front line, especially for the early costs when you're comparing him to Darius and Garen. So I just think to be at that level with those two, he just needs a massive buff to him. Now we also have Poppy down here. Now Poppy you basically play just to complete a Yordle comp, just because her ability isn't that great, she's not that tanky, and she doesn't really bring a lot to the field. And the last thing we have down in F tier is Rengar. Now Rengar, yes, he completes the Assassin comp, yes, he's good in the Wild comp, but he's just very weak for an Assassin. You look at people like Zed, and with the ninja bonus he's getting 16,000 damage crits and stuff like that, which I've seen. But with Rengar, even with his ult at the extra pounce, he's just not dealing anywhere near the same amount of damage. Now whilst I was making this tier list and getting opinions from other people regarding it, the one thing that a lot of us clashed on was the gap with a certain champion. Now there's one champion where basically I believe it's currently S tier, but someone else believed it was currently D tier, and there was such a gap in decisions that I put it separate completely. So this champion is Lulu. Now Lulu honestly for me is S tier because you get a few of the ults off and she can completely ruin a fight for anyone. And at the same time people thought she was D tier just because she's a bit squishy and the ults are unreliable. But honestly, I believe if you put Winsu's on a Lulu, then it just brings way too much to the field, and she can just ult just to keep that front line alive. Now, the reason I put it completely separate like this without a tier at all is because I want you guys to decide her tier. So, if you've played a lot of TFT, you'll have seen a lot of Lulu, and I want you guys to put down in the comments below what you think Lulu is to settle the debate amongst the people that have made the video. Just because we're currently torn between whether she's low tier or really high tier. So let us know down in the comments below what you think Lulu is and where you think Lulu fits into the current tier list in TFT. Now I do want to thank you all for watching, and if you are still watching at this point, then do leave a comment down below to let me know that you're still watching, and I will make sure that I leave a like to that because I love you for still being here at this point in the video. If you did enjoy it, then please like it. If it's been helpful, then share it with friends, and also subscribe down below because I'll be bringing more content soon on the Noble comps, the Blade Master comps, Yordle comps, and how to succeed with these comps and guarantee you're getting everything in them so you can succeed when ranked TFT comes out soon. Now if you also pay attention to videos coming in the next few days, we have a big reveal video coming tomorrow on something big coming to Teamfight Tactics, so stay tuned for that and subscribe to see when it comes out. And thank you all for watching. I will catch you guys next time. Goodbye.